Another one.
Yes. It's your boy Boss Show Me. And definitely gonna respond to the press conference from yesterday. Cause I think I see clearly what's going on. You know, I will say this. A majority of the fans should feel real good because this draft was tailored, in my opinion, to what was loud, right? I'm gonna show that a lot of different ways too. And it fell in a direction that nobody can probably be mad, right? Because you have people that do like a lot of detailed research, right? And when you see people do detailed research and sometimes it will have conflicting opinions, right? Especially at pick 12. At pick 12, pick 12, you could have had it go a lot of different ways. You needed luck, right? You needed some weird stuff to happen. But when downs fell, even if you was open to offense at 12 due to BPA, nobody could then argue that Downs was better than most of the offensive people that we would have been open to. So that's one example of how people that was defense at all costs, it fell in a direction to where you're happy and people that would have been open for offense are happy, especially at pick 12. So I want to kind of talk about what Jerry is doing in this press conference, because a lot of it has to do with, in my opinion, showing the power that fans has. That's the angle that I'm coming with. So this is from April 25th, yesterday, the post-draft press conference. I'm gonna show y'all a couple of things that's just interesting to me. Let me also turn on y'all comments real quick. I'm gonna have to look at it through my phone. Y'all give me 1 second to pull that up. And let me go ahead and play it. I can do two things at once. Let's go.
All right, Calvin.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Jerry, Will, can you guys just assess what you've done this weekend with the draft class and things, and obviously the trade as well with winners?
So, can you assess what you've done? Right? So this is about the entire weekend. Assess what you've done. Also notice that Jerry is prepared. And I think Calvin Watkins, I'm being all the way honest, I think sometimes he get his questions directly from Jerry. That's just my opinion. That's just kind of the benefit of having a lead seat. You know what I'm saying? We got JV in the house. JV, welcome. Free JV, you're free. But listen. So now Jerry's prepared with this answer. Listen.
Well, I'm ready for you a little bit here, so I'll start, Will.
I'm ready for you. So your question, I had my answer teed up. This is his answer.
Really on with my notes, but we have 5 first-round draft picks that we didn't have this time last year on defense. Quinton, Clark, I'm taking liberty.
In other words, I'm taking liberty to take credit and say Clark is first rounders. That's what he's saying. I'm taking liberty to just throw that in the equation, basically.
Gary, Downs, and Lawrence. So right there, we've added 5 first-round picks that weren't a part of the team this time last year. We've added 9 new players on defense this offseason between trades and free agencies. 9 new on defense. We've added 9 new defensive coaches out of 10 coaches on defense. We've added 9 new ones. We not only that, and Coach could speak to that if you want any of it, but we have changed the concept of what we're doing defensively. The facts are that we have executed on. We got to see exactly how it's going to be, but we've executed on a dramatic change. The other thing, and I can say it this way, and it's not in any way to be talking from any vantage point, but Brian is a head coach that has spent a lot of time in a lot of rooms in the NFL to be at his age. You've heard me say that. But he is absolutely, after that year we had last year on defense, he has absolutely had to just tunnel vision, burn a hole in from the standpoint of interviewing all the coaches that we hired, from the standpoint of looking at the schemes and seeing their ideas about the schemes. He has gone through a doctor's degree from Harvard in terms of at least putting this in place so that we can now go coach them up and execute it. So we have sat here and added the personnel, dramatic change. I think someone said that, Rashada, you said there were 9 new players, 12 on defense.
Yeah, it's like 12 or 13 new faces.
On defense, 3 on offense, as we sit here tonight, to give you that. So it's been a dramatic change in the bones of whatever it takes to step out here and play some defense. Now we'll see where we go from here.
So what did Jerry want to communicate with his written, prepared statement, likely from a reporter that threw him a curveball? He wanted to communicate that we have addressed the defense. And he wanted to express that from the draft. Now, that seemed like it's Captain Obvious, but this has something to do with what we have been loud about, right? Because in my personal opinion, from my research, we swung the pendulum a little bit too much, where we had a chance at running back, special ones like Mike Washington, a big back out of Washington with 4.3 speed. We passed on that, especially in the 4th round, because the emphasis was on defense, right? And I was saying that going into the 4th round, I was saying, listen, Parker straight. Parker straight. Like, you got some offensive gems sitting right here that can be starter grade right now in terms of taking care of what we need. But the focus was what? Defense, 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 defense. And to the point where his written opening statement was to sell it. So, and then I love what Hallelujah said. He said, hopefully this don't mean we're done. And I would say this, we are for the most part done unless we, for the most part as fans, are loud. If we happy from this just because it's a lot of bodies, then we're done. But if we are loud and we're quacking, he's going to feed what's loud. He's going to feed what's loud. Let me show you that that's true, that I'm not making that up. Jerry at the owners meeting. Okay. This is Jerry at the owners meeting. Y'all check this out.
Getting back to the Cowboys, the Ducks have been quacking on your defense.
See, notice he said the Ducks been quacking on your defense. Let me see if I can turn this up without crashing the show. Y'all give me a second. Good, I didn't crash the show. Good. All right. So he asked about Ducks quacking. You say, what he talking about? Because Jerry made a statement earlier that when the Ducks quack, you feed them. So let me play that first. Then I'm going to go back to about what we've been quacking about. Listen.
Jerry, you obviously have been a big part of the NFL's booming business. We're talking about the 18th game, Thanksgiving Eve. We're talking about teams going to Melbourne. Yeah. Games are being played on every day of the week except Tuesday this year. Is there something to Hogs potentially getting slaughtered on this, where you get a little, there's a lot going on with the NFL, and the exclusivity may be going away a little bit. Do you feel that way at all?
No, when the Ducks quack, feed them.
And see, that's telling you a lot. That's telling you his philosophy. That's telling you when the fans are loud about something, you get them what they've been loud about. This is why I always say your voice matter. This is the whole theme of my channel. Is that fans, when we are loud about things, sometimes dumb things, they still go do something about it. It still go get their attention. And they still go, because it's a business at the end of the day. It's a business. So as a business, they go always keep in contact of what we are saying. John Machota said, and he's been saying it for a while, that they get a report about what we saying on X. Cause see, you can track trends on Twitter, what's trending, what people are saying, and they get a report about it every day or every other day. So what we quacking about, he's gonna want to feed us. That's why he said, when the ducks quack, you feed them. Listen.
Way a little bit. Do you feel that way at all?
No, when the ducks quack, feed them. And we have that demand for our games, and because of the hard work.
So you could tell he was saying it as a philosophy. When the ducks quack, feed them. So now when we go to him discussing defense, now listen.
Getting back to the Cowboys, the Ducks have been quacking on your defense since the end of the season.
So you hear what he said? The Ducks been quacking on your defense since the end of the season. So the fans been loud as hell about fix the D. This is Jerry's response.
You told us the last time we talked you're going to be more aggressive. You also talked about busting the budget. I know you've improved the team because you couldn't help but improve the team. Have you done enough? Do you feel you've done enough? Have you been aggressive? Have you busted the budget? Can you speak to those things?
We've been aggressive, and we have, relatively speaking, we've stepped up the financial requirements for what we have done. We may have exceeded, busted, whatever you want to call it, but we got some more, and so we're not through.
Yeah. And to his credit, he kept his promise, and they continued to work. We can't look at D Winter and say they wasn't working. We can't look at them trading for a linebacker strategically, which was very smart, and the timing in which they did it too. Cause see, they went ahead and completed the D Winters transaction right around the time it was obvious that they was in a very bad place to try to get linebacker. So people that have been studying the draft knew that the best linebackers was gonna be available at the bottom of the first, top of the second, maybe go to the bottom of the second, maybe top of the third, right? So we was already knowing, boy, y'all finna get wiped out unless y'all move up. And right around that time is when they got Dean Winters, which is showing that Jerry and them was working. They was working, obviously talking to the GM of San Fran, you know, who they came out later and said they have a good relationship with him, you know, so they was able to get a deal done to get D Winters, right? Which is a real good deal, by the way. That's a real good deal. It's ideal for the defense too. We picked up something very dope with that. And then somebody saying Jordan Brooks might get cut. I mean, we can go after Jordan Brooks, but it really could be overkill too, to be honest, bro. We like that, but that's sure, man. We still defense, but we still I ain't mad. But Cowboy fans still shopping for defense, boy. I ain't mad at y'all. Y'all some greedy motherfuckers, bro, I swear. Y'all some greedy, bro. Y'all some greedy. Hey, listen, I ain't mad at greed. But I also want to warn us, I wouldn't be being myself if I wasn't being honest with everybody and say that partially he is selling us. Oh, let me turn off the music and say this. See, because I got to keep it real. Yeah, I'm laughing at you, bro, because you being greedy, my boy Tyrone Church. You greedy ass boy. Yeah, man, I ain't mad at you, though. But I had to turn off the music and say this because I want to emphasize something. Jerry is selling us. Just like Clarence Hill said, he said, the Ducks been quacking about this defense since the end of the season, right? And notice the very thing he came out with, prepared prepared to talk about from the very first question at the press conference concluding the draft was how many coaches we got on defense, how many players we picked up on free agency, how many draft picks we made on defense. It was to get us optimistic from all the work that was done on defense. So I want you to know that Jerry, out his own mouth, has already said that he's always selling. I want you to listen to his words. This is not boss hating on him. This is not boss being negative. This is just us being aware of how he moves. So just listen.
And my coach, Frank Broyles, got me interviews with all the great coaches of the time. This was 1965. And I interviewed Bear Bryant. I interviewed Paul Dietzel. I interviewed Woody Hayes. All of those that maybe not names anybody's familiar with that are listening. But these were the names. Pro football hadn't really made the top of the chart in terms of the sports page. But these were the names. Well, he got me interviews with all of them. One of the coaches named Bear Bryant.
Listen to what Bear Bryant told him.
You take the fake out of me, there's not much left, he said.
If you take the fake out of me, there's not much left of me. That's what Bear Bryant taught him, told him. This is what Jerry took from that.
Said, how about that? We're all selling. We're not only selling the players, we're selling the fans.
And that statement started with, if you take the fake out of me, there's nothing left. And he added, how about that? Like he said that like, hey, that's some real wisdom. That basically Jerry that you looking at and you like, this is authentic. Nope, that's Jerry selling. Look.
Not only selling the players, we're selling the fans. I'm the bear. I need to be the bear. And my coach, Frank Broyles.
And then he said, I'm the bear. That's me. That's what he said. That's me. And Jerry is selling us right now. Now, this is the good news. Because I'm a professional salesperson. I'm trained in sales, all of that. Because you selling don't mean you lying. Sometimes you selling and you telling the truth. Sometimes you really giving people good value. And it's your job as a good salesperson to communicate the value to the potential prospect. Because sometimes they don't see it. So it's your job to be able to, with persuasive language, get them to see the value in what you're selling. So you can sell me on downs. Sold. I'm buying that, right? I'm buying that. But I'm also knowing that Jerry, you spoke. You've already spoke. See, you had a pre-press conference too. In your pre-press conference, you let the rabbit out the bag and boss paid attention. Now, most people probably didn't catch it, but I caught it. Okay. So April 22nd, he says something regarding the defense that really let you know what his real thought and thinking is towards the defense. So there's the post-draft press conference to where he's selling, but then it's the actual moves that he made, right? Mixed with the draft. So this is what he said pre-press conference. Listen.
Can we not have all?
Hold on. Let me rewind it.
And obviously this is a lot of influence that Christian Parker is going to have here throughout the entire process, but specifically tomorrow night. You guys have kind of been asked this before, but this is his first time really going through this process. Where does the trust come from to be able to understand that his evaluations could be correct tomorrow night?
So this is about Parker. Now listen at the mission that he basically gave Parker. This is the real.
Well, I'll start that. It's been very beneficial. We've spent extra time going through the philosophical approach, what he's trying to get done on defense.
He talking about Parker. Listen.
Shotty's been outstanding pulling that out of these defensive coaches so that the scouts and everyone get a very clear, and couldn't do this truly, of what you're trying to accomplish. Where can we not have?
Listen, this is the key part. Where can we not have? Now, this is the mission to Parker. Where can we not have?
All pro players, but
where can we not have all pro players, but get by? Listen.
Get by with lesser players.
So this was before the draft. So before the draft, and then Ty say, boss, you've been killing in this offseason. You appreciate, man. Thank you. And I really appreciate the super chat. And tomorrow I am doing the raffle. I'm doing the raffle. And I'm going to make sure one of y'all get a Downs jersey. We going with the Downs jersey. Y'all tell me, do y'all want the CeeDee Lamb Pickens jersey, or do you want Downs jersey? I think y'all should want, for the raffle, for everybody they do a super chat over $5. You get entered into the raffle. Do you want the Downs or the Pickens? So, but see, I'm going back to so y'all can see what he really did versus what he's selling, right? So what he's selling and what a lot of people are buying, just keeping it real. And some of this is true. What a lot of people are buying is because you saw a lot of activity on defense, is that the defense is fully fixed. It also sells that we're fine on offense. And I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm being honest with y'all.
Oh, hell no.
We are not. Matter of fact, I'm going to make the case that the offense is actually in danger. The case that I'm making today is that he's selling, and some of it is true. But see, he already gave you his real answer pre-draft, and he basically told Parker, we go try to build your defense to where it's not really based on our pros, but where you basically getting by. So basically, we gave you some bodies. We need you to coach these guys up. That's what he's looking at. And you ain't going to really have all pros. You going to have Quentin Williams. That's going to be your all pro. But see, the offense is full of that. See, the offense is full of a lot of resources. But the mission to Christian Parker, out his own words, and he said it himself, is for you to get by. Rebel with the super chat. She say, boss, don't play with me. That Downs jersey is mine. I've already got Pickens and CD gear. I got you. I got you for sure. I got you. And listen, whoever get that Downs jersey, you won. You got that jersey for at least 5 years. He ain't gonna get traded or nothing. He gonna be with us. So that jersey, you gonna be in your closet a minute. So you gotta watch some of these jerseys. You could get Pickens jersey, he might get traded. Gotta watch the jerseys you buy. But going back to what Jerry doing, Jerry is, as he should, as the owner, trying to get the fans excited. And to a degree, it's working. Right? When you go look around, I'm looking at clips. I'm gonna play a clip from somebody on Twitter. A lot of people have feelings like this guy named Mark Henry. Listen to this.
Guys, these tears of joy. These
defense of joy. Let's go, Cowboys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, I shouldn't be. I shouldn't have this much joy. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve it. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. We need defense. We got defense, baby.
Now, should I tell him that he has a defense before the draft that was built on get bys? Or should I just let him feel good? Now, we got some players in the draft. Some of the players ain't get bys. But should I be the one to tell him, hey, man, I know you got defense, but a lot of that was just some names, and Park and them got an uphill battle to really make this defense on the championship level. It's going to likely be better. But should I be the one to tell him, or should I just let him feel good? I think I'm going to let him feel good. I ain't going to bust this bubble.
We need defense. We got defense, baby. Ooh. Oh, man, y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready for the Cowboys with a defense? Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, what I'm telling us is we gotta keep our diligence up. See, don't let your guard down. Some of y'all positive, I'm gonna start saying positive vaginas. Some of y'all go take my whole message wrong because you just so thirsty for anything positive. Some of y'all go take my whole message wrong. We clearly are better on defense. We clearly have made and put a lot of resources on defenses. But don't be sold that we're done. And don't be sold that we are out of danger. Don't be sold that we are where we need to be because we put a lot of resources on the defensive side. Because then we'll be missing that basically our back door is open. So for anybody that play chess, sometimes they call your back door open. That's where you so focused on attacking, that, like in chess, that you basically not defending your king. You see what I'm saying? That's chess, So I'm talking chess. I'm not saying we not better. I'm saying we need to be focused because somebody could be also trying to sell us that we are done, that we are complete. And at the end of the day, he want us to just show up excited. That's the main thing he want. He want excitement for us. And because we're quacking, he went out there and he's like, look, we've done this based on what y'all been quacking about. But we have to be smart enough to be able to look at the roster, see what holes that still could be there, and discuss those things and continue to quack, and not even quack about things that could be risk on the defense. We also have to still keep our minds on the risk of the offense, as well as obviously special teams. Because we dealing with a salesperson. We dealing with a person who said if it was anything left in me real, it would be nothing left. And he said, how about that? We're always selling. We're always selling the players. We always selling the fans. That's his words, not mine. So if somebody's clearly trying to sell me something, I got to be aware that, hey, this person is selling. He receives a bonus or commission based on if I buy it. So I got to be also very conscious of this salesperson, making sure that he's selling me something that's really going to be of value and truthful and that I need. Like straight up. So I'm seeing what he's selling. Defense win championships, but I also heard you out your own mouth give the real mission of getting by. And you can't take that back because you said it.
So that the scouts and everyone get a very clear, and couldn't do this truly, of what you're trying to accomplish. Where can we not have all pro players but get by with lesser players in the philosophy of the defense?
Now, and this is why we got to keep our eyes on that. We got to keep our eyes on that because you clearly said that we trying to build a get by defense, basically. The only problem I have with that is that also doesn't match what Parker said. if I listen to Parker, Parker said that I need great players to be a great coach. Let me play it. And this is just us being aware. This is not doom and gloom. This is just, hey, there's a little bit of a divide in speech. We got to be able to have the discernment to put this together. Hold on real quick. Why is it not playing? Hold on real quick. It's not playing. Okay, I got it. Here we go. This is Parker. Listen.
Yeah, I mean, I think, great players make great coaches. I think that whenever you form a defensive structure, it's about the players that you have. You definitely have a mentality as a play caller, but I think that it's still going to be designed around the players that you have. Yeah, I mean, I think.
So, if you design the defense on get by, is that a defense designed on great players? If the owner gave you the mission that, hey, we go give you some players that's some get by players, is that a defense that's designed to bring the best out of Parker? Because I get it that we saying, hey man, Parker go coach these guys up, but if I'm listening to my coach's own words, he said great players make me great. So that means I gotta be also still being greedy for him, just like my boy Tyrone Church was doing, and I love that he doing that. I love that he doing that. I love that he being greedy. I love that Tyrone Church, I'm glad that we got a super dope linebacker, veteran, very good move. But let's get Brooks too. And he said, boss, I low-key feeling like Jerry meant, and said, this is what I don't do, 864. I can go by what you meant, or I can go by what you said. What's safer? Should I assume that you could be saying something, or do I just go by what you directly said? I think I should go by what you directly said. If you said, I came to you like, hey man, we go come to you and we go build you a defense where, how do you get this defense on players that can get by? And then look at most of the players that we brought in from free agency. These weren't top names. Let's keep it real. Some were starters. They were starters. But most of them weren't top names. They were, honestly, get-by free agents. They really was. Right? Your safety, I think T.J. Parker, had back surgery like 2 years ago. Just earned his starting job back last year, That's kind of get by. Kobe, they moved on from Kobe with the Rams. He's a solid starter. He's a good starter. He would have been better than everybody that played last year at corner. Kobe. But he not like super top shelf. He's a good by corner. Even Thompson. He's probably the best out of everybody we got out of free agency. But he wasn't Buda Baker, bro. He wasn't. The top shelf over there at Arizona was and still is Buda Baker. Just keeping it real. Are we saying they bad? No. But it's truly what he said. We got you some get-bys. We didn't get you great. And we going to be leaning on you to try to get these guys good enough. I think the mission of the defense, and I'm being all the way honest, is good enough because we getting ready to lean on offense. And that's where it could be risky, and that's where we got to be diligent as fans and make sure that the offense is ready for the pressure they getting ready to put on them. And I didn't make that up. This is Jerry's words. I want you to listen to Jerry and see if I'm lying. This is April 25th, 2026. Listen to Jerry and see if I'm lying.
Well, it isn't. It isn't. It's obvious. I wish everybody everywhere could see the.
Hold on real quick. Let me turn this up. I should be back now. Y'all let me know if I'm back. Y'all let me know if I'm back. Y'all let me know if I'm back. Let me know. Let me know if I'm back. Okay, good. All right, good. Man, all right, let me do this first. Before I start going into my content, I gotta delete a lot of stuff because it crashes when I overloads my production program. That's why it does that. Yeah, let me delete some stuff because then when I start trying to fly this plane, I crash this motherfucker. So let me just delete some. It happens when you got too many slides up in here, man. So let me get rid of some of these slides. I should have did that before I went live. I'm doing that now though. So the next time I try to do something that's flying, it won't crash. Y'all give me 1 second. Because the next part I was finna get into, damn, I lost over 80 people in here too. They say my audio is out. Damn, it was 80 people that just left. Hey, listen, that's what happened when you had them technical difficulties. Shout out to the people that stayed though. It ain't the people that left, it's the people that stayed. You feel me? So if you having audio issues, just come out and come back in. All right. So we got my boy Judah. He still want me to be a cheerleader. Like, bro, I'm not no cheerleader, bro. Like, it ain't gonna happen, bro. You know. And then I definitely ain't doing no complaining just to complain. That's, you know, you feel like that because you want somebody to cheerlead to you. You want somebody to pull out them pom poms and go Cowboys! We killed the draft. The defense is full of all pros. Go! Nah, bro. Ain't gonna be no cheerleaders over here, brother. I'm gonna look at the evidence, and then I'm gonna talk about how to, get better based on what we already got and what we might need. But some of y'all so soft that just makes you squeamish. Somebody say audio boss. Hold on. Yeah, it's like I don't know why y'all torture yourself, bro. If you hate this type of content, do not come in. Some people keep saying they can't hear me. Y'all need to come out and come in. Y'all let the people know to come out and come in. All right. So now I want to be able to show. Now let me delete a couple of more things. Hold on. I want to show y'all like that it's a real risk. And that what happened to a lot of people is, we looked at it kind of like 2 + 2 is 4, right? Real basic. Where defense was trash, defense was was this worst in franchise history. So we said, which could be 2 + 2 is kind of common sense, right? Put all y'all resources on that. Your offense was number 1. Your defense was last. That says put all your attention to most people on defense. But see, everything is not 2 + 2. Basic math. Some things are variables and angles and dimensions, and so when you start talking about like geometry, you start talking about and trig, it's still math, but it's dimensions. It's still universal truth, but it's another layer to it, right? So the layer that most people might be missing is that the offense is likely go take a reduction even with the same people. So Lou did a study, and this also matches us too. Y'all don't remember when Mike McCarthy's offense was number 1 when he had the Texas coast? Do y'all remember when Mike McCarthy's offense was number one when he had the Texas coach? Do y'all remember that? What happened the following year to the same offense? So some people might call this, you're just complaining to complain. Okay, sure. Maybe I'm just trying to look forward and saying, okay, since this tends to happen, what's our plan to prevent that from happening? Now, some people go look at that like, you're being negative. No, I'm actually just trying to be forward thinking, bro. And when you hear your owner making those assumptions that our offense should be the same, should not be concerned and should not say something. If you care about your team, I think you should. I think you should say, hey, I don't think it's a good assumption to think just because we put all these resources on defense that our offense is just going to carry where it left off, because that does not happen. So when you go look at most of the teams that was number one the year before, you see them take a significant dive the following year. Mainly because, and Shotty talked about this when he talked about this year, we have to evolve. Okay? So let me just show you a couple of clips of Jerry making the assumptions. And we go get into it. So hold on. Listen to Jerry. This is what I was getting ready to play. I should be able to do this now without it crashing. All right. Because I was just trying to turn up the audio. All right. So I was able to turn up the audio. It didn't crash. This is very important, though. Listen to Jerry.
Well, it isn't. It isn't. If obvious. I wish everybody everywhere could see the way we make a decision there, and they'd quit worrying so much about me sitting there.
And I guess we get to 30 years. We've talked several times throughout the offseason. You pointed out how Seattle went from out of the playoffs to the Super Bowl, New England went out of the playoffs to the Super Bowl. You already feel you have a championship level offense. Have you done enough?
You already feel like you have a championship offense. Right? You heard what he said?
In the offseason to take that next step is what I'm asking you regarding that last year.
Let me give you an easy one. We've done enough to improve before where we ended up last year. And now that's a trick, because we need a lot more than just improve on what we did last year. We can materially improve to where we should be able to be as effective on offense generally.
See what he said? We should be able to be just as effective on offense generally. In other words, he making the assumption that we should be able to do what we did last year, even though that does not really happen historically. Every offseason, the number one offenses and number one threats in the NFL are always studied, and they're not just studied by your division. They're just studied generally by the entire league. Because if you're doing something innovative that's giving teams problems, they're going to want to learn you before they face you. So that's why anything that's the number one threat is greatly studied, and that's why you see most number one offense take a massive reduction the following year, and it also happened to that Texas coach under Mike McCarthy. But yet you hearing Jerry say, we should be what we've done last year. And that's not the assumption that, in my opinion, he should make. And to me, that's where the fans are slipping. Because a lot of the fans are treating us like, man, why y'all talking about running back 2? Why y'all over here like we could have got running back 2? Why y'all over here, man, we needed to put that on the defense? It's like, bro, your offense is at risk too. That's why you can't, in my opinion, and I'm just keeping it real, that's why we can't just think 2 + 2 = 4. Defense bad, put our resources on defense, and then we are great. See, that's a little bit too 2 + 2. We got to add a little bit more dimensions in that. Like, so what's the other dimension? The dimension is, or the other angle, or the other variable would be a better math word. The other variable is, yeah, based on history, everybody's studying us right now, so we need to also add some wrinkles and resources to our offense, which I will also say we did, which I'm actually happy about. I'm going to talk about that later. But just talking about the risk and keeping it real on the risk is also your offense going into the second year of Brian Schottenheimer. Can I ask you a question? Does Brian Schottenheimer have the advantage anymore of surprise? Does he have any more the advantage of surprise and people not knowing what he's going to be? I'm just asking a real honest question. Does Brian Schottenheimer have the benefit of surprise anymore? I think we can with common sense say that he does not have the advantage of surprise anymore. Now teams have 17 games to study him and his tendencies. He does not have the advantage of surprise. He doesn't have the element. He does not. And some of y'all saying element. No, I'm saying the right word, advantage. It's an advantage to be able to have a surprise. It's an advantage when we walked into Philly and nobody knew game one what shot it was going to be. Nobody. We don't have that advantage anymore. But yet you hearing Jerry out here like we should be like we was. Is that to me? No, that's not the right thinking. Is that the right thinking to you? I think that is the right thinking to most of y'all. I think most fans think that. Because when I engage a lot of fans and I'm in these debates, when I engage a lot of fans, they say that. They say, why would you touch Pickens? Our offense is already number one. We just need to fix the D. Or we need to fix the D. Our offense already number one. It's that 2 + 2 = 4. It's bad defense. Offense great. Offense will continue to be great if we just put Reese's on defense and the offense continue to be great. Super Bowl. What you go likely see, to keep it real, you don't put so many resources on your defense, coaching, resources, thoughts. You go likely see your defense improve, but you could also ignore your offense to see your offense take a slide. Oh, man, I don't think people can handle that. Ooh.
You can't handle the truth. Ooh. You want answers?
Ooh. Oh, hold on real quick. Who you talking to, Judah? You said be happy, MF. Who you talking to? Who you talking to? You talking about at least for now. I want to know who you talking to, because I know you ain't talking to me. I'm going to wait and see what your answer is, too. Who you talking to? Be happy. Motherfucker is what you said. Who you talking to? Nah, bitch, that ain't in general. Talking about that's in general. Nah, fuck you. That ain't in no damn in general. Oh, cheerleader ass. Talking about be happy. You the biggest pussy in the chat. Talking about be happy. For now. See, fans like that are hoes, bro. Fans like that are against improvement because they just want to feel good. I can't stand fans like that. I can't stand content creators like that. I hate y'all. I really do. Like hate. And I know what I said. I said hate. I hate y'all, bro. Because you can sit here with like and have like a real logical, factual discussion. And they want to feel hope so bad that they start attacking like he just did. Now, I've been letting that hoe ass dude sit in the chat with that pom-pom shit, right? Sneak this here and there. He would do. But then these hoe ass positive pamper bitches, because they the most aggressive motherfuckers, period. They are. Like, they get aggressive when you just talking pure football, you talking strategy, you talking facts. You over here like, say, bro, listen, offenses generally take reductions. What are we going to do about that? You talking with a calm tone. You making the case, which is logical and factual. And it ain't just Judah. It's thousands of people like him. And they usually go flock to content creators that's going to lie to him. And then say, here come another one. I told you, look, James coming here. This dude named James, I don't know who he is. He said, you sounding negative, bro. You see what they be focused on, though? You look what they words be. Be happy. You sound negative. You don't sound positive. It's not about facts. It's not about what you're saying. It's not about, is it logical? Are you really trying to help us avoid a trap? It's none of that. It's, I don't be feeling right when I'm listening, and I'm listening to you address a risk, and it's making me feel, I want to hear, we slammed the draft. We fixed everything. We are headed clearly to the Super Bowl. Parker is turned, we moving different. See, that's what y'all want, bro. Some of y'all. Shout out to the people who just want to hear how to fix problems. Shout out to the people that understand the difference. Shout out to y'all, I swear. Shout out to y'all who really understand that and that move like that. I really cannot stand positive pampers, content creators, writers, and fans. I really don't like them, bro. I don't. I do not, because they do not help us win. They don't. When we trying to win and we talking about ideas on how to win, they get scared. So like when I was over here talking about, hey, you know what's going to help us win? You know what's going to make us better? If we start focusing on rookie one ticks like Jay Tua, and throwing them in too early, how about we get a vet? Which I was saying for years. They would then say, I was listening to Boss Channel, man, cry me a river, man. I mean, let's just give Jay Tua a chance. And I say, brother, I hear you. I hear you. But I looked into the research on 7th round DTs. Literally 90% of them are out the league within 2 years. But yet that's your plan to actually fix the run game. I don't like your channel because you're not telling me that Jay Tua is finna be an all-pro year one. And then to come in here like MF or be happy. Nah, James, he say, you creating this narrative that people can't be fans. You can be a fan, just don't be no dumbass fan. You can be a fan, but don't be mad at me because I'm talking logical. See, some of to y'all, I get it. Some of y'all being a fan is believing everything positive and believe in every positive report. That's to y'all fanning. To me, you're disloyal. You're what I call devoted. You're devoted. So, and that's a cheerleader mentality. Like I mean that too. That is a cheerleader mentality. And as a football player, somebody who plays the game, my mama didn't make me stop playing the game. Like some of y'all. Like my mama allowed me to play the game. Allowed me to have surgeries and everything for the game. So I honestly didn't like cheerleaders. I didn't even think they was necessary, to be honest. They had no impact on if we won or not. That's how some of y'all are. You are not necessary because you don't impact whether we win or not at all. You don't. You're like a cheerleader, which you call a fan, meaning if Jerry and them do something dumb, Go Cowboys. That was smart. I am a fan. I support it. Go Cowboys. I was a player. So as a player, if we was losing, I felt it, I showed it, and I talked about it. The cheerleaders' jobs was just to cheer whether you was winning or not. You could be getting blown out by 100, and you would still see them girls up at a go cheerleader and go crowd, go. Let's hear it for Carter High. Let's hear it for he. So it's like just realize where you at. You in a place to where I'm focused on trying to win. So if you want some content that's gonna be about making you feel good and fanning, it's plenty of channels that's gonna tell you that everything was great. There's no risk. Our offense getting ready to be number one again, and that everything we did on defense has positioned us perfectly for the Super Bowl. They are sitting there lying right now. They're gonna lie to you as soon as you go over there. Go over there, you're gonna be happy. They're gonna tell you all kind of lies. Okay, you're not gonna get that from me. But see, let me go to this real quick, because what I'm trying to do for people who really want to win, I'm trying to show you that we got to stay active and loud. We got to stay active because, in my opinion, we got some things we got to still focus on in order to be championship ready. That's the whole point of really having this show. Like, some people go, they go kind of, get a little bit soft, and they not going to be able to handle this. They can't handle this. They get squeamish when you talk about risk to championships. They get squeamish. But for people who like really understand the heart of what I'm doing, they go say, okay, what you saying is offenses take a turn. What do we need to do to prepare for that and be ready to make sure that that doesn't happen? And that's why I'm showing that what Jerry is saying is not, to me, having us ready for the season, but it's some things we can do to be ready. So listen to him again so you can see that in his mind, the offense should continue where it left off. Listen.
More than just improve on what we did last year. We can materially improve to where if we should be able to be as effective on offense generally. In my mind, we've done enough to start talking about getting up there where we try to be. And I think if we play the defense that we dream of playing with the changes we've made, and we can continue improving or doing what we did offensively last year.
See? If we continue what we did last year, and this is also Jerry saying it again. Listen, so I'm letting you know that this is his mind state. Then I'm going to talk about the things we can do about it just to make sure that we don't fall into a trap. Okay? So listen, and then we're going to talk about how we can prevent from falling into a trap. Listen.
What makes you feel optimistic about what you guys have done in the offseason that you...
Hold on real quick. Wait. Let me turn it up. It's not going to crash this time. I be flying a mess out these planes. Boy, if y'all can see how I be doing behind the scenes, boy.
What makes you feel optimistic about what you guys have done in the offseason that you guys will be a better team than you were last year?
We've addressed our defense significantly. Going in, I thought that if we can pick that up, sustain the level that we played at on offense last year.
You see? How many times do he have to say it before you learn that that's his mind state? Do I need to hear him play it again? I'm going to play it again to let you know that this is my state.
Going in, I thought that if we can pick that up, sustain the level that we played at on offense last year, always looking to improve, specifically with the depth of our roster, special teams, the fact that we have no reason to think we can't be as good as we were last year on special teams. With all of that in mind, and when you are almost dead last, you can anticipate some improvement, and got pretty good odds you'll get some.
What makes you feel optimistic?
Yep. So he asked him what makes you feel optimistic. His thoughts are, and he telling you, and he told you twice. I didn't make it up. It came from him. It's not my words, it's his words. He said, the resources that we put on defense, right? The coaches that we put on defense. Now we can add the way that we drafted on defense. And the assumption that we go basically stay around the same where we were on offense. That's the part that's dangerous to me. Okay? So what can we do to make sure? That's why we having this conversation. We having this conversation because this is about us trying to be ready for a championship, and that's why I'm doing content on this. To me, if you trying to be ready for a championship, one of the things that you cannot do on offense, in my opinion, is come back with the exact same personnel that you did before, which is what we look like we trying to do. I still believe that one of the best ways to make sure that you have real wrinkles, when I say wrinkles, changes to your offense, something that the defense was not expecting, that can put the surprise element back into your offense. That's why I asked, does Schottenheimer has the surprise element anymore? I asked that question. The people that was honest and not afraid to talk real football all said that surprise element is gone. But if you added running back weapons to his offense, does he now have a new surprise element to his offense? That answer would be yes. Y'all see where I'm going? I'm basically saying we should still be quacking, in my opinion. Now, it's a lot of us are done. We're done. I'm gonna tell you a lot. This is what a lot of us feel like. A lot of us saw that draft. They saw the focus on defense in the draft. They saw the free agents that we picked up in the draft and saw the heavy focus on defense. They saw all the massive changes with coaches and all that kind of stuff. They saw it. And most of that stuff was good. Hold on. We got us a super chat from Cerebral Assassin. Say, boss, do you think our slot wide receiver strong enough for a three-headed attack plus having a strong 1-2 punch at running back? Man, that's a great super chat, bro. That's a very good super chat. Brother, let me tell you something. Do I think it's good enough? I think it's more than enough. Especially with Smith, who we picked up in the 7th round. I'm doing a whole video on that in the morning. Bro, Smith might low-key be one of the best pickups we got. The 7th round. Oh, see. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready for that. Then on top of that, what we did with the Baylor tight end, we got some guys that can go get the ball. We got some big targets. Dak usually don't have big targets. Now he got a lot of big targets. To answer your question, Dak been throwing to point guards most of his life. Let me turn off the music and say that again. Dak has been throwing to point guards a majority of his career. He been throwing to shooting forwards. I looked at him, Day Walker. I'm doing a video in the morning. That's how serious I am about it. I'm going to stay up and clip his ass up. And I'm going to show y'all that Smith and Florida North finna be a dope-ass competition for number 3. And I'm going to put it like this. The Cowboys ain't losing whoever wins that battle. Whoever wins. So if Florida North beat them out, Florida North also greatly improving as your number 3. If Florida North get beat out and become your number 4, we gonna have the dopest number 4 in the league with Florida North. And that means Smith done stepped up and became a... Smith is an absolute steal. And I'm gonna tell y'all like this, and y'all know I've been looking at them weapons for years when I've been calling them, and I've been saying I've been looking for this for years. I've been looking for Dak friendly supersized weapons is what I call it. So it's basically bigger targets that can run routes. I've been looking at for years, and we finally really drafted one. I ain't talking about acquired one. We drafted our own. And then he said the tight end from Baylor and the undrafted running back going to be lit and wide receiver battle. Oh my God, no offense on politics from my brother Tyrone Church. See, and I'm glad you said that, bro, because that's what I'm talking about. Is that offense? We need to keep our eye on offense too. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think we did get a little bit too 2+2. Defense, all time bad. Put all resources on defense, and now you are fixed. No, it ain't like that, man. You got to look at it's not. One thing about a surfer is not a great surfer can see the wave coming. A good surfer, they don't start trying to ride the wave on the way down. You done already missed it. You missed the wave. But your best surfers, they sit out there and they look at the ocean. And some of us, have been to the ocean. You can see it. If you look out in the water, you can see, I always see when it's a big tidal wave coming. You can see it. It'll be just one wave that continue to just boom. And as it get closer, you'll see it again. Boom. And then it'll get closer. Boom, and then you'll see a whole bunch of little ones. Your best surfers will see it coming, and they'll say, there it is, and they'll start swimming towards it. That's the one I'm finna ride. That one. That one that keep, boom. See, that's what I'm talking about. What's happening on offense? What usually happens on offense? Usually, you right here, the number one offense, and it usually, boom, takes a dip. So, if I'm seeing that wave coming, and you just sit there like a stupid surfer, like that wave is gonna stay up there. No, that wave, it keeps dipping. It keeps dipping. You number one year, boom, and it goes down. You prepare for that. That's why we having this discussion. Because most people not. And most people not gonna have this discussion. Most people, especially during this season, it's gonna be hard to trust most content creators because we know a lot of y'all want to get hope dope. That's why you see a lot of people aggressive in here saying this is negative. It's like, bro, y'all so weak and soft. Y'all can't even see when somebody is trying to protect the team and somebody trying to look at risk, right, that could hurt the team, and then say, hey, y'all, I know we having fun playing in the water, but it's an electric cord that seems like it's loose over there. I think we need to go put that cord up before somebody get electrocuted. Oh, the kids are having fun. Wait, can you listen to me, mama, please? Listen, please. I know we're having fun during draft season, but there's an extension cord and it's a loose wire that could electrocute everybody. Can we move that out the way? So when I'm talking about, hey, the offense tends to go down, why are we all assuming that it's going to stay here? What are we going to do to keep our offense from doing that? That hurts some of y'all opinion and feelings, and it's crazy to me. It's weird. And like my brother Lo said, you gotta have vision. Yeah, it's like you gotta be able to see it coming. You got I see that wave. It's coming right at us. So, and my brother said Boss wanted Downs, but I don't know if he wanted him over Bane. Nah, I wanted Downs over Bane. Hell yeah. And see, we already did our list. We did our list in the open. Downs was top 2. I had Love, then Downs. So anyway, so I wanted to show y'all what's, in my opinion, really going on, and then pivot to the solutions out of this. Okay. So to sum up what's really going on, Jerry to a degree is selling us. To a degree, that's what's going on. He know that's what we've been quacking about. He know we've been quacking about defense need to be fixed. That's why the very first statement that he had was to talk about all the changes that he made on D. Because he want us excited. But we have to be sober. We can't do like what Judah wants me to do and to just pump up the fans. No, we gotta be sober. Put the alcohol back. Put the weed down. I need a sober head right now. And in a sober head, that would say, you did good. I'm not quite sure if you did enough. Let's talk about it. Where did you probably really fix? I would say you fixed linebacker. I would say I can almost say you done. I don't think you got to do nothing else with D Winters and who we drafted and Shamar James going into year 2 and Overshawn and all of them go be a year removed from surgery and all that. I think we all right at linebacker. I can come out of the draft and say, y'all check that box. I can look in the secondary, especially the safeties. The safeties, I can say hands down, y'all better. Y'all way better too. Linebacker and safety, you can clearly say you better. And not just better, you way better. Obviously, one tech, shit, you clearly better. And I'm going to say you even better with Osa out the room. Yeah, I said it. But like my brother said, that edge room though, exactly. See, that's where you got to be sober. That's where you got to put the weed down. You got to put the drink down. See, because I know he trying to sell us that, hey, man, we look what all we did on D. Yeah. I love what you did in your run stopping. You got some run stopping edges. Where's your pass stopping edges? Where they at? Where they at? You being negative. Okay. I guess, man. I guess you can call me negative all you want, fine. But on paper, I don't see it. I don't see it. And I don't want to be in the game like the Rams when they was playing the Panthers and the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, was driving and you had nobody for the Panthers that can get to the quarterback and close that game out. So Matthew Stafford put them balls out the playoffs. See, that's what negative boss trying to avoid. That's why I keep bringing up vets. That's why I keep doing it. Because I'm like, I like what you did. I don't think it's good enough for edge. Corner also could be an issue too. It could. It could. It's some ifs at corner. It's some ifs, right? Bland. If his ankle could be healed, we might see the restoration of Bland. If. Revel might play like a first rounder if his knee holds up. You have ifs at corner. You don't have like that box is checked. And see, and you got me. I'm just gonna be honest about it. I'm gonna just be honest about it. Do I love the traits in the Florida corner? I do. I love his traits. Love his traits. So I love the way that he moves so much. When I was looking at him and I was ranking him in my corners, I said on his twitchiness at his size alone, that would be perfect for a coach that know how to teach. Somebody that can take somebody that's long with speed and twitch. Now they just need to be coached up on how to play corner. Oh, that's your guy. That's your guy. And I'm talking about the Florida corner we just picked up. I forgot his name. Moore. Yeah, because I talked about Moore. I already talked about Moore. I know what's up with Moore. But what I'm doing is I'm talking about where we really are, right? So in my opinion, we need to keep quacking. Am I gonna do every show about us needing water, Daddy? No. I ain't gonna do a show every day about us needing the water, Daddy. But I'm gonna do it probably once every 2 weeks. I'm gonna do a video or a show or something saying, hey, I still think we need more here. And corner, we still need to keep our eyes open, depending on how camp and stuff like that is going. Safety, you ain't gotta touch safety. You good. Safety, you almost didn't have to touch safety after free agency. You sure don't have to touch safety after downs. You don't have to even look at safety. Safety go be great. Linebacker, we finna be, man, that's an upgrade. That's a major upgrade. But I'm like my boy T Church, I'm greedy. So I'm in a good way, meaning I'm trying to turn over every stone that can be in the way of us winning. You know, I'm turning over every stone. And lastly, this, we need to keep an eye on that offense from this standpoint. I don't think people really see and understand how running back 2 is a need. It's not a want. It's a need. It's not a want. Running back 2 is a need. And it's still a need. Now, I'm going to have to do a video on this because I'm probably going into this in depth. What's going on is that we are trusting in a lot of people for running back 2 that's green. I'm going to say that again. We are trusting in a lot of people at running back 2 that are very green. You got 2 backs that fit currently Shoddy's style. Maffa, in terms of big back, right? Israel Abandakanda. He fits in terms of stature, style, big back. But then you have Blue, who does not fit in terms of stature and style that Shoddy prefers. As well as, what's the other back out of Florida? Y'all help me out. He did good last year. Y'all help me out. I'm having a brain fart. Y'all help me out. Malik Davis. Now, he's not green, but the problem with him is he runs hard, but he doesn't have the frame that historically Shoddy prefers from a back that he wants to bring punishment to a defense. Like, he has the heart to try to punish. He runs hard. He does. But he doesn't have the frame to bring punishment, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Like, Zeke used to be able to bring punishment to a defense. Like, if you tackled Zeke all day, you probably was in the ice tub on Monday. I promise you. If you played against Zeke for 4 quarters and that offensive line, I guarantee if you had a Sunday night game, Monday, most of that defense, I guarantee, was in the ice tub for bruises and stuff like that going against him. I swear to God. Some backs bring punishment to a defense, and that's what Shoddy prefers. So the backs that fit him, they don't got a lot of playing time. The backs that don't fit him, like Blue and Malik Davis, is question marks on them. You know, not more so Malik Davis' contribution, but fit. So to me, the main thing is this, and I'm asking everybody honestly, some of y'all go get very scared and go crying and call this negative because you soft as hell. But this is a logical question that I'm going to ask. If you fragile and soft, just turn me off right now. If you a man and you grown and you a woman and you grown, sit and listen to this question I'm getting ready to ask. How did your offense look when Williams was banged up in December? How did your offense look when Shotty couldn't lean on the style of back that he prefers? How did your offense look? And I'm looking at the answers. ISO said stagnant. King said weak. Daywalker said stagnant. Drill said questionable. Common Sense said looked below average. JV, fresh out of the penitentiary, said was not pretty. Jay Battle said we was stagnant. Tyrone Church said bad. Angie said weak. Soul said like shit. Tinsley King said average. ISO 3 and out. DP Johnson effed up. Did Thomas like trash? That's why I said if you can't handle the truth,
You can't handle the truth.
that's why I wanted them soft, positive people to leave before I asked the grown men and women this question. But see, the grown men and women, because y'all can answer the question, that automatically tells you what the solution is. If you didn't, Lewis, you playing. You goddamn playing. He talking about I saw promise. You playing. Stop playing, bro. That offense looked way different when Williams was banged up. So one of the major reasons why you said, oh, Devin, you said you answered. Let me see what you said. Let me see what Devin said. He probably said something about blue. Let me see what Devin said. He said, like it needed another back, but he was on the sideline in street clothes because your coach has his type. Oh, yeah. That guy that you talking about, Blue, he actually played week 18, sir. He played. So I don't know what you're saying. He did play. And then, you know, I don't even think Blue was on the sideline because Shotty prefers his type. Can we be honest real quick? Can we be honest? Devin, I want you to be honest. Up to week 18, when every one of the backs played, who, and I want you to put it in order, who played better when they was under the lights? Who played better up to week 18? Out of Blue, Maffa, and Malik Davis. Who just played better when they was out there in front of everybody? Who played better? If we being all the way honest, on the last preseason game, Blue didn't look better than Deuce. So I'm looking at the answers. A lot of y'all saying Malik Davis. That's factual. That's factual. Malik Davis, under the lights, should be over Blue. That's factual. And then my boss, one of y'all said Davis, Blue, Maffa. I see it different, but I respect it. I see Malik Davis, Maffa, Blue. If you're looking at who played, who was available to play, and how they played. To me, the person who had the better preseason between Maffa and Blue, I want to see your answer on this, Devin. I want to see your answer. So before we over here, cause it almost sounds like Blue put this dope shit on film and we hiding him. I don't see that. Who sees that? I saw a better run performance week 18 from Blue, though. I did. I saw a better run performance. I did. I saw soft blocking week 18, but a much better run performance. I did. Now, what's your answer? I don't see it. Type it in there again for me. But most of us, okay, and let me ask you this question, Devin. Who played better when they played, Malik Davis or Blue? They both played. Who played better? Who played better? So, this conspiracy, in my opinion, that Blue is being treated unfair, I don't think it's the case at all. And I'm being all the way honest with you. It was concerns about Blue before he was ever Dallas Cowboy on his maturity. And it came from the beast. It was written in the whole book. Dane Boogler put it in his book that multiple teams had questions about his maturity. And you could see it. You could see immature. And it was immature for Blue to miss out on his head coach trying to visit with him and have dinner with him. That's immaturity. So you not go keep being immature and I'll reward you more reps while other people are playing better when they play. Nah. Your ass at the bottom where you should be. Now, if you get in and you continue to run like you did week 18, and if you block better, because your blocking was ass, but your running was good week 18. Now, if you running better than Davis, then I'm going to do an about face and I'm going to push for Blue. But Blue don't deserve to be in the conversation of running back too. He don't even deserve it. He don't deserve it based on what he put on film. This ain't got nothing to do with like or nothing. He did not on film play better than Davis. He did not on film play better than Deuce. And Deuce got cut. His ass should have got cut. How do somebody play better than you, but they the one get cut? He said, boss, I think we took Devin out of context. What you mean? What did I miss? So, and I put it like this. I think I'm being the fairest to Blue. Because I'm saying this. I would try to even give Blue a chance to mature. But I'm not going to just throw you out there running back too because you fast. Dak out. When have y'all ever seen Dak check a player on the sideline? Blue was the only person that I saw him look like he was checking Blue in the preseason. Have you ever seen Dak on somebody's ass? Man, that maturity shit is real, bro. I'm not gonna be the one over here closing my eyes, bro. Nah, bro. Like, I'm not gonna be closing. I ain't one of them. I ain't one of them. This ain't people picking on Blue. This ain't that shit. No. It's too many people from different sources. You had the coach talk about his maturity. You had Dane Bugler talk about his maturity. You saw the head coach say he ain't even show up, and he ain't even call me to tell me where he was. If y'all really want me to be honest, because I'm not going to sugarcoat this, Blue to me seems entitled. Oh, y'all not ready for me to tell the truth, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Blue seems entitled to me. You know the only reason you wouldn't show up from your head coach calling you? Because you feel like somebody more powerful than him has your back. Because it wasn't Shada that made the pick. It was Will McClay that made the pick. So if Will McClay and Steven rooting for me, why do I even need to show up a meeting for you? As long as they like me, I don't even care about what you talking about. I ain't showing up. For what? I'm busy. I'm in Austin chilling. I ain't showing up. Now, my running back too got to be mature. I don't mean a saint, but mature enough to show up to his coach. And mature enough to put on film. And I'm going to tell you the main thing I didn't like about Blue Week 18. I liked his runs, but what was being said often about Blue, was physicality. So as a former player, I noticed if I had a coach that was saying, Boss doesn't tackle. He can cover, but he doesn't tackle. If I had a coach that was saying that in the public, what do you think I would be making sure I shut him the fuck up on the next time I'm under the lights? We talking about basic maturity now. If I had a head coach that in a press conference say, yeah, we need him to actually be better at tackling publicly, what should be the first thing that I show on film if I'm taking my job serious? You should see my tackle effort off the Richter scale, because this was brought up in the public, and I want everybody to see he lying on me. He didn't do that week 18. I'm telling you from me scouting, man, I have my stuff in the public. I ain't lying on him. His blocking was so soft, it pissed me off. And you not serious about your job when your head coach been publicly talking about physicality and you still week 18 go out there and put some soft shit on film. I'm off the Blue train on that type of stuff. So this is where I'm being fair to Blue. I'm saying I sense very much immaturity in you. I do sense, and I'm keeping it real, I sense immaturity in you. I sense entitlement in you. You move and act like that you know you favored by Steven and Will. You act like that. So I still see you as an asset, though. I'm not going to let your annoyance make me blind to your talent. Let me say that again. I'm not going to allow you being annoying to distract me from your talent. So I'm going to stay focused and I'm going to use you, but I'm not going to use you in a way to where I'm dependent on you as my RB2. What I would do, and this is what I hope Brian does, I would relegate Blue to all the reps that Turpin was getting and Lamb was getting. And if you showing me something with that, I would work you up. So, and they was getting about 4 touches. So I would start you with 4. Show me something with those 4. Show me that you going out, giving me all you got with those 4. And now I would work you up if you showing me something with them 4. But you ain't did nothing that deserves to be over Malik Davis. The only reason I'm giving you those 4 reps because you got speed like Turpin, allegedly. So if he out here as a wide back is what they call it, a receiver that's in the backfield, let's go ahead and put the running back there that got the speed. Take them reps off them receivers, give it to the running back that we drafted, and then let's see if he matures. Let's see over time, will he become a professional NFL player versus just a talented NFL player? That's where I stand on Blue. Going back to this, and I'm closing this out. The main thing is this. Offense, if you wanted to have a twist, if you want to take away the risk away from offense, one of the best things to do is still try to have a dope running back room. If you go look around the league, the Raiders got Genty, and they still was like, but we taking Mike Washington too. So they getting ready to now attack teams with 2 backs. And guess what? If the Raiders in the playoffs, guess who not gonna be worn down? Because he's sharing the load now. Genty. Guess who likely is going to be wore out again unless we get another back to take something off of him? Williams. Or unless one of these other backs step up and become a very reliable, trustworthy running back too. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say about Blue and Malik Davis. I see they talent. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about them. I see both of their talent. But it is very wrong to try to force finesse on a vision of a head coach who wants physicality. I'm going to say that again for the people that's way in the back. They ain't hear me. It is very wrong when the vision of my offense, and I was clear on this, I'm talking about Shotty. Shotty was very clear what he wants the identity of his offense to be. He said physical. If you look at his whole history, it's been that too. Whether it was Georgia, whether it was when he was with the Rams, whether it was when he was with Seattle, him and his daddy has a style to where they beat up teams. But forcing finesse on somebody who has a physical vision is just wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I can't blame Shotty for being off rhythm if he lose his power back like he started happening in December. When Williams started having to check out because he was banged up, you could see Shotty was out of rhythm. And see, that's not true, bro. My brother say that style never won anything. Man, y'all really look at y'all history, bro. Like, I can't even believe you said that, bro. How you go? Oh my God, bro. Let me just calm down because I don't want to be condescending. Your team is the Dallas Cowboys, and you say that style never won anything. That physical style is what got you all your championships in the 90s. You don't know that? What you think the 90s offense was built on? You think it was built on Aikman chunking that motherfucker? Why do you think Emmett had 22 touchdowns? And it wasn't Emmett. It was the physicality of Moose in front of him. Oh, he said he wasn't talking about that. Whoo, I was finna say, bro. Like, damn, bro. Like, shit. He said I wasn't talking about that. Whoo, I was finna say, like, damn, bro. Like, whoo. No, that's that physical style. Look how many times Seattle made the playoffs with Shotty in a row. With average backs, but they was power backs. Look what Seattle did with beast mode. Physicality. I'm just being honest. If my offensive coordinator has a vision, this is exactly why I was saying, don't draft Matthew Golden with Booker sitting right there. that does not support your head coach. That's the main reason I was pushing for Booker, because I was like, my head coach said a couple of things. He said games are won and lost in the trenches. You losing Zach Martin, that's the best, most physical player in this year's draft. That's the fit. Now, if we would have had Mike McCarthy still as the head coach, guess who I would have been pushing for? Guess who I would have been pushing for? Matthew Golden. Why? Because Mike McCarthy don't run the ball. He's a finesse coach. The only Super Bowl that he won is when he had multiple weapons. And Jermichael Finley literally came on the show and said that we had 6 number ones when we won that thing. So I'd have been trying to weapon up Mike, because I'd have been like, the only way Mike is going to win is he got to have the best weapons in the fucking world. So I would have been pushing to get him his weapons, because this is the style of offense that makes him a better play caller. But Shoddy is a way better play caller when you give him backs that's physical. And Shoddy had the foresight to even say, I wanted Rico. He literally said, I wanted Rico. Can you imagine if we had Rico and Williams? Can you imagine that same dude that told us to buckle up and backed it up? If we had both of them as combos, do you think Williams would have been banged up in December? If we was giving Rico touches and then giving Williams touches and giving Rico touches, and do you think Williams would have been banged up the way he was in December? Likely no. He would have likely been rested, and we would have been a much more physical team. DeMarco was super physical, exactly. Zeke was super physical. Our best offensive runs came when we had a physical style. Do y'all remember we went to Seattle and bullied them when they was the champs in 2014? We bullied them in their house because our offense was physical. I don't think it's right to put finesse backs, Blue or Malik Davis, with an offensive coordinator that has a history of physical offenses, a history of physical backs. Before I even go try to force finesse on him, let's first give him physical. To me, that's right. That's doing him right. Like, why would I hire him as head coach, but then try to tell him how to cook his meal? And then Steve and Ann Will admitted that they was the ones who drafted him. We drafted him because of his speed. It's like, you drafted him because of speed that don't even show up on film, bro. I got film of safeties running him down. Like, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that?
So if we being, to me, proactive and listening to them, I get it. Defense win championships. We're being sold that we built the defense. We don't have enough, in my opinion. I think we need to keep our own corner a little bit, at least keep our own it. I know, in my opinion, on paper, that we have a deficit on pass rush. So we're not done. There are things we still should be quacking about. There are things we still should be loud about. Edge, we should be loud about. I know y'all want to be positive right now. I know y'all want to celebrate the draft right now. Go ahead and celebrate. Once you get your celebration, come on back to work and let's start talking about the other things we need to get to try to win a championship. That includes pass rush. That includes maybe corner. If there are some hiccups in the if guys meaning Bland, meaning Rebel, we might need to be looking at that. We absolutely need to be looking at a pass rusher, and we absolutely need to be looking at a running back. So I'm going to be dropping some content in the morning on some of the draft picks that really, really, to me, hit. It's going to probably shock y'all, the order that I come in. But I see some real dope stuff that we did. And for the most part, will I say that the draft went in every direction I wanted it to go? No. I felt like in the 4th round, I felt like the marketing of trying to draft defense and check boxes to say we did defense. I think that thinking got in the way of best players in the 4th round. That's my personal opinion. I believe we got I believe we let the pendulum swing too wild the other way. That does not mean that we didn't have a good draft though, because it didn't go the whole way that I wanted. I still think, and one thing that they did get right, because y'all heard me mad about Lance. I was mad that we let Lance come off the board and he was sitting there in the fourth. But then they made up for that with Smith. So some of the stuff I was mad at about, they checked that box and said, shut your mouth. And I said, I gladly will shut my mouth, because you shut me up. You went and got my big weapon. You got my big weapon that can run routes. It didn't have to be Lance. You got your version of it, but you still got what I've been beating the ground for. So therefore, I appreciate you greatly, Dallas. So the draft wasn't perfect to me, but the draft was really good. It was really good. And I can see the logic in what they did. Everything don't gotta be my way. But y'all look for more videos to come out. I'm probably ain't gonna go live no more today. I'm gonna go ahead and chill out. I got me some neck bones in there heating up, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all, listen, y'all. I didn't think that draft whooped my ass. That draft whooped my ass. We was live for 3 days for 21 hours. 21 hours. I thought about texting Vach and say, man, how you feeling, bro? You all right? Because I'm like, if we put 21 hours on stream, I know Vach worked way more than 21 hours. I just want to text him and say, hi, you all right, bro? Take your vitamin C, bro. Go drink some water. Make sure you relax or something after this. Because that draft, like, I felt good. Me and Tuck was talking yesterday. I was like, man, I feel good. Usually I be tired as hell after the draft. Because think about it. It be research, talking for hours, producing for hours, right? Usually I be feeling like I got shot after the draft. I felt good. But then I guess that adrenaline wore down. Boy, man. Whew. Man, that draft whooped my ass. So I'm finna go enjoy these neck bones, relax, and then I'm gonna start putting out some more content, because it's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. It's a long list of things I want to talk about. So I appreciate everybody that always break your boy off on them cash apps. All of that goes towards the raffle. I will be doing that raffle tomorrow for Downs. Yeah, and see, Star said it. Star said it. I see Star. I can see your comments right now. She said, boss, I was cooked. I went to the club yesterday, right after the draft for my friend. I walked into a mini coma. Man, I swear I did. I kicked it too, and I felt like it was a mistake. I kicked it too, man, and I got in. Boy, I was like, I felt like, whoo. Man, I felt like I was like, boy, what the fuck? So anyway, so me and Star go get one more day of rest, and we gonna be back on pumping out this content. It's a lot of them draft picks I want to really get deeper into. It's a lot of people go cover down, so I'm gonna let my brothers take that one. It's a lot of us go cover that, because that's the hot boy. But there's some other people out there that I guarantee people ain't like. They ain't really on, but I'm gonna put you on. So y'all look for my videos, man. I'm gonna be really cracking out some stuff on these drafts. And the Dallas Cowboys are going absolutely nutty again on undrafted free agents. Your team better. My thing is, better is not good enough. Better is only good for the positive pamper people. They just want to feel good. The positive pamper people, they want you to be happy. And they go come here and say, be happy, motherfucker. They go, they just want to feel good. The people that want a championship, they go keep working. We go keep working. We go keep pushing for all the things that bring us closer. It's a lot of people. We ain't gonna see some people till September, to when the season starts. After the draft, it's almost like some people do church. They only show up for Easter and Christmas. But the real fans, y'all gonna be rocking and pushing for us to continue to improve, man. So again, appreciate the cash for the draft. A lot of y'all came through with that. Continue to do that, and you'll continue to be in that raffle. And then also one of the most important things you can do for content like this is hit that like and hit that subscribe. That's one of the most important things you can do to push out this content. We not finished. We are not finished. We still got work to do. Take a break, enjoy the draft, be happy, celebrate. But after your vacation, come back to work. That's all I ask. Enjoy your time to celebrate. Go ahead and be positive. Go ahead and do all of that. I'm not against any of that. But let's not lose focus that we still have work to do. Because guess what? When the ducks quack, which is you, Jerry feeds them. So you would be a fool to shut up. When the ducks quack, feed them. So keep quacking.